Today's story is called Minnie and Max Are Okay. I've got lots of questions about this story, and I might ask you questions as we go along. You can either say them out loud to a grown-up, or just think them in your head. This book is written by Chris Calland and Nikki Hutchinson, and it's illustrated by Emma Smid. I wonder what it's about. Ice cream. I love ice cream. This is Minnie, playing with her dogs Max. Grandma often looks after them, and she says they never sit still. When Minnie gets picked up from school by Max and Grandma, 3 things usually happen. Max jumps up at Minnie. Minnie shouts, "Relax, Max!" And then she gives him a friendly scratch just behind his ears. Max jumps up at Minnie. It's because he's excited. Why is Max excited? Then on the way home, Minnie likes to skip, hop or walk sideways, asking Grandma all kinds of questions. What if dogs went to school? What would I look like if I had a tail? What would the world be like if everything was upside down? What crazy questions. Do you ever ask crazy questions? Max quite often asks himself things too.
Why does Minnie have to go to school all day? Why are cats so annoying? Why doesn't Grandma like my singing?
But today was different. Minnie walked along quietly without asking anything at all, and Max just asked himself one question.
Why didn't Minnie shout, "Relax, Max," and make a fuss of me at the school gate?
"You seem a bit down in the dumps, Minnie," said Grandma. "Is there something the matter?" Oh, what do you think the matter with Minnie is? Yes, Minnie whispered. She was feeling fed up. School had not gone at all well today. At playtime, 2 girls wouldn't let her play with them. They'd laughed at her, saying, "You look silly." She had thought about it all day. Grandma took Minnie's hand and gave it a squeeze. "I thought we could stop at the park for a little while on our way home. How would you like that?" Minnie smiled and nodded her head. "Yes, please," she replied. "Max would like that too." Max wagged his tail. I wonder what the matter with Minnie is. On their way to the park, they passed some local shops. Minnie noticed her reflection in the window. She saw a small girl with a mass of brown curly hair, and she was wearing her school clothes and a pair of worn-out black shoes. She's not right, is she? Have you ever felt like this? Max stared at his own reflection. He saw short legs and scruffy hair the colour of biscuits. Minnie frowned and scuffed her shoes as she walked along. "Oh, I'd like to be tall like Samir," she thought to herself. "If only I had long straight hair like Ella. I wish I looked different."
I wish my fur was smart and curly.
Max raised his nose in the air and tried to walk like a poodle. Minnie walked on her tiptoes to be taller. She scraped her hair down to flatten it against her head. "Why are Minnie and Max walking in such strange ways? What are the two of you up to? Laughed Grandma as Minnie and Max both walked along through the park gates in a most peculiar way. Why don't we go up and get a drink first? Grandma suggested. Minnie was always thirsty after school, and the park cafe served brilliant milkshakes. Minnie and Max led the way there, up the slope and past the fountain.
Oh, if only I had long legs so that I could run like that.
In the cafe, Minnie chose a banana and strawberry milkshake, which had real strawberry perched on the top. Grandma ordered a cup of tea, and Max had a bowl of fresh water. Why didn't they all choose the same drink? I don't really like how I look, Minnie said in a small voice as they sat down with their drinks. I wish I looked more like my friends.
Oh, I'd like a smart collar like that.
Well, I wouldn't change anything about you. I love you exactly the way you are, exclaimed Grandma. I think it's wonderful that we all look so different. People come in all sorts of shapes, sizes and colours, she said. Just look around. There were lots of children in the park. They were tall, short, little and large. They had dark skin, light skin, curly hair, straight hair. There were children with glasses, some with freckles, some wearing headscarves. Everyone really does look very different, thought Minnie. Max stared at all the dogs in the park. There were so many different types. Black, white, sandy-coloured, spotty, scary, friendly, short, long-tailed, shaggy, fierce, tiny and enormous. Grandma smiled at Minnie and Max. Imagine how boring it would be if we all looked the same. What would the world look like if we were all exactly the same? If everyone looked exactly the same, do you think we'd all be identical on the inside? How would people know which one you were? Looking round at all the children, Millie spotted Samir and Ella from her school. Why don't you go and join them? Suggested Grandma. Minnie and Max ran over to be with their friends. They made up some new games to play. Ella was the fastest at Can't Catch Me, and Minnie told Samir that he had the fiercest growl when they played Bears in the Forest. But Max in the Middle was definitely the game Max enjoyed most. Wow, that dog can really jump. Minnie thought of a new game which she called Monkey Trees. We need to be the monkeys and climb up here, she explained, pulling herself up on the climbing frame. You always think of really good games, Minnie, said Samir, as he and Ella scrambled up beside her. Minnie held on tight and swung backwards to hang by her legs. Samir and Ella watched carefully and then copied her. When they were all hanging upside down, they giggled and made loud monkey noises together. It must be brilliant to be a monkey, Minnie thought. They can swing by their tails and climb all day. Grandma watched from the cafe and called out, Come on, you noisy monkeys. It's time to go. Minnie jumped down from the climbing frame and shouted goodbye to her friends. In the cafe, Grandma got up to pay for the drinks, and as she counted the money, she pointed out a photograph of Minnie's dad that she kept tucked in a little window inside her purse. Look at this picture of your dad when he was little, Minnie, she said. He had the same mop of curls as you, and he was always on the go. It must be where you get your energy from. Minnie peered at the picture and then looked carefully at her grandma's face and grinned. I've got exactly the same colour eyes as you, too, haven't I, Grandma? Minnie bent down to give Max a pat, and she rubbed the soft, scruffy fur just under his chin. She was smiling.
I look just like my mum and dad and my grandma.
Why do you think people like to look like their families? As they walked home from the park, Minnie skipped along the pavement sideways and asked Grandma some important questions. Did you see me playing monkey trees? Do you think monkeys like strawberries as well as bananas? Isn't Max brilliant at catching? Yes, he certainly is a talented dog, agreed Grandma. And what a good climber you are, Minnie. As they turned the corner into the street, Minnie began singing her favourite song, and Max joined in straight away. Oh, no, moaned Grandma. Minnie laughed and bent down to give Max a scratch behind his ears. I really liked being a monkey, she whispered to him. But it's even better being me. I want you to think about your skills. What was Minnie good at? What are you good at? And is there anyone who is good at everything? Bye.